Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to once again another video. And today, guys, we're gonna be playing some Destiny 2. So today, guys, yeah, I'm just gonna be doing some Nightfalls, running this nice looking arc build that I saw online that I've actually been really enjoying. And so yeah, we're just gonna be doing that. And I also kind of wanted to talk to you guys in today's video about just kind of gaming in a whole. So for those of you that may not know, I guess I would say, that are gamers, it kind of seems like gaming, in my opinion, is kind of going in a downfall. Not a rapid downfall, of course, but I'll kind of explain it as I go in the video. But basically what I mean by gaming is kind of in a downfall is it kind of seems like gaming in a whole has fallen into this pit where it's just like really rough for not only games but now for gamers. Now before it was just kind of like, I would say from like 2020, around the time the massive incident, aka the pandemic. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, you know. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, YouTube, you know, friggin' can't say this, can't say that. I'm not gonna do that. But anyways, around the time that wow, I just freaking got wrecked. But around the time the pandemic started kind of taking its toll on just kind of everything, whether it be jobs for people or gaming or, you know, music, pretty much anything, you know. I feel like music's kind of easy though, because it's an easy thing to kind of work from home with, and same with, as you know, if you're like a content creator. But for game devs, it was definitely a big moment in a lot of devs' lives because it affected the time that they could work on the games they were making. And I feel like that is kind of starting to take its toll instead of for the games, for the players now. So, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but for me, I've been kind of in this rut where games are just kind of boring. They're just not fun at the moment. Shout out to this homie that just came and invited me. That was really, oh, I'm gotta pick him up. I gotta repay the respect, bro. I got you. Came all the way back here for me, dude. I got you. Got you, homie. Here, let's catch up to this homie now. Ain't gonna leave that guy behind. But it was, it's kind of been a rough moment, I feel like, for me, where it's like nothing feels fun anymore, you know what I mean? I don't know why I said that as if I'm talking to one of you guys in person, but you know, it's just like this feeling where it's like everything's just boring. Nothing's like catching my attention really anymore. It's just very plain. You know, I catch myself more or less being on YouTube than I do more on anything else. And I still have fun with some games, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been playing a lot of, what was it? I was playing a lot of Dying Light 2. A new update recently came out for that. Wasn't too big of a fan of the volatile change, but I'm not going to get into that. It's a fair change, I suppose, but I do feel like the volatiles are still a little broken, but you know, that's not what today's video is about. But you know, other than that, I've been also kind of getting back into Destiny, but it's also because this game's kind of a chore, you know. It's like, I sit there and I gotta get the season pass, you know, maxed out, so I get my money's worth. Is how I look at it, you know. Some may look at it the same, some may look at it as like, nah, who cares, you know. If I paid for it, but you know, if I miss it, I miss it. It's whatever, which is fair. Like, I'm not gonna judge anybody on that. Some people, you know, the world's wild, you know, life's wild. You know, there's a lot of things that can be taking its toll, like just not able to, you know, got work, or you know, just got family matters, or just, you know, friend matters that you gotta attend to, which is understandable. You know, gaming's not the most important thing, but it is definitely a hobby and a career for most. So I feel like really rough because it's like a lot of games are starting to feel planned. It feels like every game that releases now has like a battle pass. Like, it's never anything that's like, I don't know, unique. Everything used to feel unique to me. I don't know if that's just because I'm getting older and becoming an adult instead of, you know, being a kid and teenager. But everything just used to feel like super exciting. Now, don't get me wrong, I still get excited about, you know, new game releases and new game announcements, like the TCM game, Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, that's going to be coming out, I believe, in August. So next month, I'm really excited for it because I do like that play style of like cat and mouse type chase, and I do like that Gun Media decided to change up the, you know, formula and be like, hey, let's add 3 killers, you know, 3 of the family members from the Sawyers as the killers instead of just having a singular Sawyer. So I thought that was really cool, and I'm really excited for that game. But it's like, other than that, not a lot of other games has really caught my attention, you know. And I don't know if that's just because I've been kind of in a rough spot and not been able to buy a lot of games. Like Diablo 4 came out a few months ago, I believe like a month ago, or it's probably been out for a while, but I haven't got to play it. I played the beta. I had a lot of fun with it. I wouldn't mind playing it again, but other than that, like, the games that I'm just left with is Dying Light and Destiny at the moment. I don't really feel like playing Modern Warfare 2, even though I have it. It's just COD's kind of gotten planned, I'll be honest. It's not the same. I feel like zombie modes, like, this is just a hot take for me, okay? But I feel like zombie modes, like in COD games, allow those games to last longer than the actual multiplayer, like Spec Op modes that Infinity War has been like adding and stuff. But that's just my input on it. And I feel like everything's just really boring. And if you feel that same way, like, you don't have to, but feel free to, like, let me know down below. Like, yeah, I've been kind of in that same boat where, you know, everything's just kind of meh, kind of boring. And I feel like that's a big problem because that starts to affect, like, a lot of players, I feel like. Now, I'm going to try my best to explain this without getting too distracted. But, so it's like, if gamers are getting boring, something's kind of going on in the formula. You know, I remember things were super exciting. Like, I remember when Black Ops 2 was, like, when not even announced, it was just dropped. Like, I remember when it was announced, and I remember getting it on launch and playing it, like, 5 in the morning on release day, I believe. And it was really fun. But, like, you know, that game had a lot of life to it. You know, it had zombies that was really good. You know, Transit wasn't a great start for it. You know, I'll admit that. But I've come around to liking Transit a little bit. Unlike most just despise that map, which is fair. But, you know, it had so much cool things that made it just so exciting. The multiplayer was amazing. It was, like, a multiplayer that we'd never really seen before that was just, like, loved by a lot. You know, that was the time a lot of content creators also started picking up on their channels and stuff, which I think is really cool. And, you know, there was those, like, really cool, like, trailer things that you could check out for all the weapon pack camos and all that. And it was just, like, really dope. But I feel like we haven't had that kind of thing lately in a lot of games. And I feel like a lot of games are just now resorting to having battle passes or going free to play. Which you know, I'm not going to lie, I don't mind when games go free to play. It's nice to be able to play a, you know, game that everyone's into right now and, you know, play it and have it be free. You know, of course, it's, you know, that just means it's going to have, well, microtransactions, but, you know, I don't really mind that, because a lot of time, if it's a game that I'm not really into but enjoy, I'm not going to touch those microtransactions, so it's not a big problem for me. But, you know, eventually that formula, I feel like, is going to get very planned. You know, it's going to be like, oh, look, this game has a battle pass. You know, like, it's not new. You know, the only time that was really new was when, like, Fortnite started making it a popular thing. And then Apex came along and started doing the same thing. And then COD kind of hopped on that same train. And then Halo as well. And I feel like that's just kind of starting to make all these games very just, like, planned. Same with Destiny. Destiny is a game that I do love playing. Like, I wasn't big on at first. But, you know, I got really into it. And it's just kind of making me upset just with how far Destiny's gone down into this pit. That I feel like it's going to have a really hard time coming out of. Like, it just feels like everything's very unbalanced. I don't know, that could just be me. But it feels like a lot of, like, enemies are just not well looked at or, like, looked under. Because, like, wizards in this game, I'll say it now, are probably the most broken enemy besides ogres. Like, I don't know why, but, you know, you can get, like, 3 or 4 tapped by a wizard in this game and barely do, like, any damage to them. And they'll just kill you flat out, you know. It doesn't matter how high your power level is. It doesn't matter, you know, how high this or that is, your resilience or anything like that. They will 3 or 4 tap you if they feel needed to, you know. They do not care. And I feel like that's a rough spot because it's just like, then it just becomes unfun. And not just that, with the Eververse shop, you know, everything is just starting to become this, like, overpriced garbage, you know. And I don't know why Bungie feels the need to do that. I get it's their game, so it's not really under my guidance of, like, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that, which I completely, you know, see. But it doesn't mean I can't talk about it and have a problem with it. You know, I still enjoy Destiny as a game, but it's the same thing with, like, GTA, you know, like, GTA, or Rockstar makes a lot of mistakes, I feel like, with GTA, but I still love GTA as a game. It's got a lot of flaws, but it's still a fun game to me. But it doesn't mean I have to like Rockstar fully, you know. I don't have to be a Rockstar fanboy and be like, oh, you know, they can never do anything wrong. And the same thing goes for Bungie, you know. I'm not going to ever sit there and be like, oh yeah, Bungie can never do anything wrong. They always make the right choices. That's never true. And that can be said not just for those those dev companies or publishers, but that can be said for any game company and publisher, I feel like. So I feel like if the formula doesn't get mixed up from just battle passes and being like free to play with microtransactions, I feel like it's going to really put a lot of gamers in the rut to where they're just not really going to be a big fan of games anymore. like, don't get me wrong, there's still gonna be a lot of people playing games and enjoying them, and you know, I'm not saying that this formula is gonna completely annihilate gaming as, you know, a whole, but you know, it definitely affects a lot of people, and it just, I feel like, makes the game really planned for a lot of people as well that play games and play, you know, play them on a daily basis, you know, not just like common, you know, not just like casual gamers, which there's nothing wrong with, you know, being like a casual gamer, but it does definitely, I feel like, is going to be a problem if, you know, it's kind of taking its toll, I feel like, now, but if it's not situated now, I feel like it's definitely going to be it's going to put gaming in a pretty bad spot in the future within a good 2 or 3 years, and I don't really want to see that. I would love to see a lot of new, like, takes on games instead of every game feeling kind of like the same with the whole Battle Pass formula or free to play but with microtransactions. So that's just kind of my intake on it. That's all I can really think to say about it for now. If you guys would like me to talk about it more, maybe go in depth, kind of give a better description, maybe take some notes, and you know, that way it's a lot more laid out video, I would love to do that. Just feel free to let me know down below. But you know, like I always say, if you don't want to, don't do it. You know, don't do it if you don't feel like it. But other than that, that is pretty much all I can think about to talk about in today's video. So as always, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. But like I always say, you don't have to. You know, I don't want you to feel like it's something that you're required to do just by watching this video, but you're not. You know, it's completely up to you. But it does really help me out. But you know, shoot, if you even want to leave a dislike, go ahead. You know, it's not a biggie to me. It's not the most important thing to me. You know, I just do this to entertain anybody that comes across these videos and kind of just give my insight on things if, you know, that interests anybody. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next video, peace out and have a nice day.